So you were recently ticketed by the Las Cruces Police Department. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, I was here in my car with my son. I have a 8 years old kid, and I was driving from a Subway restaurant over to Albertsons, crossing this parking lot here. And Officer Stewart, who was hiding right there behind a dumpster, he pulled me over right here and said that it's illegal for. Oh no! First he said that my windshield is very dark and he can't see through it. Yet then he proudly announced that he could see that my kid was not properly restrained. Well, I pointed out that it doesn't matter how my kid was restrained because we were in a parking lot.
And what happened next?
Okay, well, I have confronted Officer Stewart in court, and we went in front of Judge Pat Casados. And the first thing I have said was that I wasn't even sure if that was a law, but I'm convinced that he couldn't be writing me a ticket in a parking lot. And Officer Stewart admitted that that's true. He said I wouldn't have a jurisdiction to write him a ticket in a parking lot, but he wasn't in a parking lot. He was on the street. So even the ticket that he has wrote me says right here that he has pulled me over in a parking lot. Then it happened in a parking lot, and there is completely no doubt that this ticket was illegal.
There are a few discrepancies between the ticket and the actual events. Can you describe that to me?
Well, in fact, there are no discrepancies between ticket and events. There are discrepancies between what the cop was testifying in court and his own ticket. Right here on his ticket, it says Main 2501, that's we're standing right here, parked in a parking lot. So even in a ticket, he's testifying that he pulled me over in a parking lot, then he was in front of Albertson, and he was not on a public road. It's not about parking lots, it's not about seatbelts, and it's not about restraining orders. What this is all about is about police officer who chooses to commit felony in order to charge someone with a misdemeanor. Because the minute Officer Stewart lied in front of a judge under oath in a court of law, he has committed felony. So he became nothing but a common criminal. At the same time, we don't really need naive old ladies pretending to be judges in our courts. They believe in some naive notion that police officers never lie. Police officers commonly lie, and lots of them lie. And it's absolutely not true that they wouldn't lie because they are not party to the story or they don't know me, all that. Of course they will. Just a fact that this officer who has testified to that in court, that he knew this ticket would be illegal if it was done in a parking lot, just as he did. Just that by itself tells me that he knew very well that he was doing was illegal, yet he was just hoping that I would be like most people and just, oh, pay a ticket and the hell with it. There's no sense going to court fighting for $35.
Now that it's all said and done, what are your thoughts about Officer Stewart and Judge Casados?
My opinion is this: a police officer who chooses to commit felony in order to charge somebody with a misdemeanor belongs in prison because he's nothing but a common criminal, dressed up in uniform. Public servant means the police steward, his first duty is to serve us, not to serve a law, not to serve a state, but to serve a public. So he has broken that promise, and at the same time he has committed felony. He definitely should be charged, and he belongs in prison with the rest of crooks.
Considering public safety, the $35 fine and the $75 court costs, do you believe that the public interest was best served by this case?
Well, a lot of people are not aware of the fact the law is constructed so going to court and fighting for your rights should not cost you more money than a ticket on the street. So here the state of New Mexico conveniently bypassed that. Instead of $35 fine, I was charged $0 fine and $75 court costs. Nevertheless, in my opinion, I was simply robbed by the crooked cop, naive judge, and greedy state.